Come rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you welcome to Brows Held High. Well, I've heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth and goodwill towards men. But in this bleak midwinter, I found myself in a bit of a conundrum. As much as I'd love to center an episode around the season to be jolly, there aren't a great many films in my purview that fit neatly within the Christmas spirit, for reasons I'm sure you can imagine quite vividly. But I did manage to find one. It's only available on VHS, so forgive the poor quality of the transfer you'll see, and it's one of the only films that I've ever watched from Macedonia. Released in the years when the millennium approached, this largely forgotten film, sponsored by the Macedonian Ministry of Culture and submitted as Macedonia's entry in the Best Foreign Film category at the Academy Awards, was called Goodbye, 20th Century. And this is the cover. No, I have no idea what this is about. 'Cause damn, this is obscure. So, I'm going into this blind and... biblical quote. From Genesis. About Noah's flood. Aha! It's a movie about the apocalypse. Those were big back in the day. And I'm right. It's after the apocalypse in 2019. Stupid Greek economy. Topical joke. It's also worth pointing out that in this future, every tree is gone. Every tree. Remember this. So after their cars broke down, the cast of Mad Max decided to go hiking, and on the way condemned this gentleman with flowing locks to death. Also, Kano found Jesus.
Christianity!
Now, take away the costuming and the setting, and this already has a very strong Christian undertone. It begins with a biblical quote, they recite the Lord's Prayer, there are random shots of a crying Virgin Mary, giving the sense of a latter-day Christian eschatology. This world is devastated by a God-sent disaster, and these men and women are left struggling to keep the faith alive. Even the act of bringing a good man to be executed recalls any number of ancient Christian martyrs. And since this is meant to be a biblical parallel, as well as a shining example of Macedonian culture, I'm sure that they're going to take this task as seriously as possible. Or take him down like they thought they saw the Predator off screen. But after that, it's handled rather solemnly, almost ritually. Despite marking him as a villain, they still give him a grave and mourners. Okay, wait a second. This is a movie about a band of post-apocalyptic thugs in ridiculous costumes going after a handsome, charming, flowing-haired immortal. Somehow, I'm reviewing a Highlander sequel.
Проклят човек, Гузмане. Тебе земя не те прима. Ако не сретнеш, бегай от нас. Чакаш да одиш. Кај не. Но само како мртов човек.
It looks like you can't die. Well, mister, if you come around to our place again, we'll kill you. Moving on, as the goose feathers being passed off as snowfall around him, our hero, Kuzman, is greeted by a wacky side character. Today, the homeless try to wash your car for change. Post-apocalypse, they shave you. Okay, Chester a soothsayer. The shaving attempt is clearly an homage to the myth of the Oracle at Delphi, and her tenure as the manager at a Supercuts. I don't know. But like most omniscient prophet characters in fiction, we learn from him both the past and the future of this story. Here's the past. Kuzman's tribe was going to kill him because he caused his tribe's children to die. Dead babies. Off-screen, but still, it's been a while. And how did he do that? He got naked in front of a painting of a Catholic saint. The old fresco-assisted infanticide fiasco. Common issue, that. Once, a guy flashed the Mona Lisa. Took out 3 city blocks. The future, we learn, is Kuzman's ploy to regain his mortality, which he can get by finding a hidden wall where everyone's destiny is written. And so, we have a plot! Huzzah! And the trees are back! It's a Christmas miracle! And carolers! Post-apocalyptic carolers! And children are banned. Wait, if society doesn't want children, then why was Kano so upset that those kids died? Was the script written in shifts? So Kuzman enters the lair of the whatever it is to find out how he can gain his mortality. There he meets an opera singer, and... Okay, this always bugs me. I hate it when people just shove little high-culture things into their little works of art just to make it seem the slightest bit more profound. I mean, like here. Sticking opera into your little Road Warrior movie does not art make. It only serves us to make us think about classier artworks and hopefully think that your film is classier by proxy. It's lazy and cheap. But then again, my theme song was written by Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov, so who am I to judge? So Kuzman goes past Anna Netrebko here, and as Joseph Campbell would put it, approach the innermost cave. What the fuck is that? Well, I see Batman and the Joker will finally kiss and make up. And breed. But the weirdest thing about Joker Bat? He speaks English.
When you're sad, and when you're lonely, and you haven't got a friend, just remember that it's not the end.
Carole King. So yeah, gun battle and shot. And what the green-blooded singer-songwriter Joker Batman was guarding was a wall with writing in... Wait, that's not Cyrillic. The hell is that? Navi? Whatever. His destiny's written on the wall, and he reads it. Ha ha ha! He must have been reading the script! I'm running out of jokes, I'm sorry. So after that, there's a John Ford reference, and... You know, I actually want to see what the prophecy was. I'm kind of interested now. It really is... Huh. TV survived the apocalypse. TV, with the massive infrastructure required to maintain it, survived the apocalypse. Is that a message about the ubiquity of media, or did they just forget the entire premise of the film? You would think that after the apocalypse, food would be considered a lot more precious. Especially food that grows on now extinct trees. Or maybe apple dude soup has become a delicacy.
Знаешь, я с морем. Так и мне пишено.
Oh. So, okay, no idea who this woman is, or why she has the whole plot of the movie tattooed on her body, or what sex with her will do to give him his mortality back, but, ugh. No, I shouldn't. Yes, ending the scene with a stop-motion bear, the man does indeed die. Which makes me wonder if this woman is meant to be an allusion to Eve, making man mortal by showing him knowledge, or if it's an older allusion to the myths of Shamhat and her tryst with Enkidu, or maybe there's some local Macedonian fairy tale at work that I've never heard of, but
Lucia. Time with your sister.
This holiday season, remember, spend plenty of time with your family. Well, this guy grows real fast. But whatever the hell just happened, we get a side story supposedly meant to illustrate why Kuzman had to shag his sister in order to die. Exactly a century earlier, during what the movie calls the first wedding captured on film, a brother and sister got married and shot. So I'm thinking they're going with a Nietzschean angle. You know, eternal recurrence, all that has happened will happen again. So they're saying every 100 years a brother and sister have to bone in order to keep the world going. Ergo, the world is run by incest. That is most certainly the film's message. Oh, and homeless barbers are immortal. That's the other message.
Что me gledaš така?
ladies and gentlemen, this is why I have chosen this film for my Christmas episode. Or New Year's, whatever. Well, yes, in the Orthodox Church, Santa does give out presents on New Year's Eve. So this is a thing.
Dete, čije si ti, be? Kako te vika tebe?
Kuzman.
Ah, a prequel. This is Kuzman as a child.
Prv den od 21. vek. Човештвото е на праг на новата ера. Може би тук му ти ќе станеш славен астронавт.
More nosi se bre u pizdu materi.
Our hero just called Santa an asshole. It isn't stated outright, but I'm willing to bet that this event is why Kuzman was punished with an immortal life. It has some parallel to the myth of the Wandering Jew, who mocked Christ on the way to the cross, and was so condemned to walk the earth forever. But that would make Santa out to be some kind of Christ figure, and that's just ridiculous. And then... I'm looking for a good adjective, but all I can think of is bugfuck, and I'm not sure that's a word. This is the third story in this three-part film, and it is indeed the 31st of December in 1999, and people in Macedonia are tuning into Max Headlejuice and his latex-clad, bare-breasted assistant as people ballroom dance to celebrate New Year's Eve. And of course this begs the question, why is everyone celebrating when everybody knows that the new century began in 2001? Because that's obviously the only thing wrong about this scene. Santa, who isn't actually Santa, but it's funny if I call him that, is looking glum, so he heads home to this.
Što ste takli? Da ne umre nekoj?
Brat mi.
So, who wants to bet that Steve Jobs' funeral looked exactly like this? So, Santa has walked in on the funeral of Officer Oliver Reed, where he apparently owes the guy rent. Santa rents. And they sit down to a very lovely rendition of the Vespers, and it's all quite reverent, and... This is the whole problem with the film. It just can't decide whether or not to take itself seriously. I mean, there were plenty of comic moments. Comic, in this case, meaning drink your own urine insane, but it keeps filling in quieter moments like these with arias and vespers to give it the sheen of profundity which... Yeah, let's just speed up the footage and forget that ever happened.
Chop a line now.
Kumbe.
Who? What? Why? How come Cheech Marin and his +1 are here? Why does the guy who looks like a Nazi Harry Potter disapprove? Let's just take a random guess and say he represents nihilism or something.
21. vek ќе ја отфрли лажната маска на граѓанскиот морал. Луѓето ослободени од своите инхибиции ќе одат по улица сосем голи.
No.
И мајка ми, и мајка ти.
No.
И никогаш нема да дојде.
I've been in it for the past 11 years, and no.
Времето е циклично и е поделено на етапи. Секоја етапа има свој почеток и крај. Помеѓу етапите има пауза, како во музичките тактови. Нашето време е совршено музичко дело.
A masterpiece, which, you'll remember, includes this scene. So again we have the idea of cyclical time, which was previously hinted at through the wedding scene, but it's hard to buy into the idea that this specific time is a perfect... The hell is this character? The immortal barber, shaving all the great men of history. It's just... I have to level with you. In this entire multi-part apocalyptic meditation, at no point have I ever fully understood what in the name of Walter M. Miller Jr. was going on. So, sure, why not? That's my motto for the rest of the film. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? Santa's getting a beret off a Christmas tree. Sure, why not? The Cheech Marin guy is oversalting stuff. Sure, why not? Nazi Harry Potter's hand just caught fire. Actually, no they won't. True story. When I first saw this film, I tweeted what I saw, and someone on Twitter responded, "Are you reading aloud from a troll fic?" And with his hand burnt, I now dub this character Nazi Harry Dumbledore, because I have no clue what's going on, and I need some way to amuse myself.
Meni se verува da se nemalo ni troška počit kon mrtov čovek.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that the moral of this movie is, proper decorum must be maintained at all funerals and incestuous weddings. That is the message of the film. Sure, why not? Sid Vicious. Sure, why not? People smash Santa's face in with a bottle. Sure, why not? There's a false sense of urgency about nothing in particular. And don't ask me why Nazi Harry Dumbledore just punched Santa in the face. Nazi Harry Dumbledore just punched Santa in the face. Nazi Harry Dumbledore just punched Santa in the face. Let that sentence sink in. Nazi Harry Dumbledore just punched...
Proštaj, ne do mene.
Ne, do mene.
Whatever the hell it that he is up to is. And the it that he is up to involves killing the man's widow, shaking a snow globe, allowing for the dead man to come back to life, and it starts snowing, and it's midnight, and everyone is dead.
Ja сега moram da odam. Ti ќе ostaneš ovdje i ќе napraviš brod. Od drva.
Wait a second! He's telling the man to build a ship for the coming apocalypse. The movie opened with the Genesis quote. It ends with an apocalypse that destroys life. So this is a movie about Noah's Ark?
Иднината е podjednako zajebana kako i minatото.
Yes, the first part of the script is just as messed up as the second part. But how did he know that? Did he read the script? Is he aware that the script exists? Is Santa God?
Goodbye, 20th century.
Holy shit, he's speaking in tongues. And he knows the destinies of everyone on Earth, seeing them when they're sleeping, knowing when they're awake. He is omniscient, omnipresent. Our Santa, an Arctic Circle, ho-ho be thy name. Thy presence come, thy sleigh be done at the North Pole as it is in heaven. Praise be... Oh, who am I kidding? This is ridiculous. And what a proud uncle he must be. I don't get this movie. At all. And from the looks of it, neither did anyone else. The Academy ignored this movie, and rightly so, and it's never received a DVD release. Most critics, not just me, couldn't make heads or tails of it. It might just be a mishmash of Anglophonic imports, or it's based on some aspect of Macedonian culture that just doesn't translate. But this is a trashy, pretentious, messy mess of a mess. But if there's anything that we can take away from this film, it's the well-hammered-in message that human history is run by cycles of pain and insanity. Human history is run by cycles of pain and insanity. Everyone.
Let your heart be light. Next year